Howdy folks, one of the gratifying things to these series of video vignettes is I'm starting to get a lot of feedback, or requests I should say, about, well, can you clarify this, can you dive deeper on that, and thank you. I welcome that feedback because I want to make this valuable to you rather than just me waving my hands in the air at a camera and hoping that someone finds some value from it. One of the requests is like, well, can you define, and I'm putting my words to it, but can you define this good, be good. Be a good distributor, blah, blah, blah. Well, yes, I can. A lot of this revolves around you building your persona, to use the phrase, your personal brand, you building out what and who you are and what you represent and stand for to create an increased level of attractiveness to the target market that you're seeking, blah, blah, blah. Welcome to Marketing 101. So here's my definition of good. I'm going to borrow from Dr. Pausch, who wrote that last lecture book, Diagnosed with Cancer, and put some thoughts together with what would be his best last lecture for his class, and then became a best-selling book. It was a great book. A little bit depressing because he dies in the end, and I don't mean to laugh at that, but that gives more resonance to the subject matter because here was a guy pondering on what was most valuable to him and his audience at a time that's most poignant in his life. Let me give you the 3 or 4 distillations that I took from his book. Highly recommend you read it in terms of his definition of good, because he gave the same advice to his students to be good. And I'll read them to make sure I get them right, and then I'll read to you my version or my extrapolations of those definitions for the purposes of our lives today in doing what we do. Dr. Pausch has said, quote, "Works and plays well with others." Sounds very kindergartnerish, right? But do you work and play well with others? Do you tell the truth? Back to our Socrates test of what you should be talking about and how you should be speaking it. Are you good at apologizing? And then he added, properly. Not just, oh, I'm sorry, grumble, mumble, bumble, but are you genuine in that apology? Is it heartfelt? And are you making a pivot because of that apology to do and be better going forward? Do you wait and expect for people to show their good side? I like that one. Interestingly, our instinct is to look for all those negatives and jump on them. But he's saying, that's your instinct, great, not great. But do you give people grace? Do you give them time? Do you have a positive assumption that there is a good side here? And I would suggest go looking for it. Imagine if you got good at practicing those habits, if you became tended towards perfection in some of those instincts and behaviors. Imagine the sort of leader you'd be. Imagine the sort of attraction you'd create to your life personally, to you as an individual, and to, obviously, as a byproduct to your business. Now, let me give you my translation of some of those, or an extrapolation of them in terms of, okay, what does that mean practically? What can I do now to begin to build some of those attributes? And this is, as much as anything, a lecture and a reminder to me as it is a lecture to you. I made a list as to, okay, therefore what? What does that one mean? What can I do today or this week, or that I can measure, that I can get better at? Number 1, am I good at making a promise and keeping it? Do I do what I say I will do? All too often we say, yeah, thanks, I'll get back to you by. Yeah, thanks, let me get you that. And one of the things you'll find with me is sometimes it's very difficult to get me to commit to something. And that's a habit I've gotten into because I am measuring in my mind, taking just a moment, maybe even longer than a moment, say, can I get back to you on that, to ponder it more deeply. If I'm going to make a commitment to you, if I'm going to tell you I'm going to do something, I want to measure all the things that are in my control and all the things that may not be in my control that may impact on my ability to do what I say I'm going to do. If I say I'm going to do X, can I do X? Or am I using I'll do X as an excuse just to end the conversation and get you off my case? If that's the case, then don't say you'll do X. Do you do what you say you're going to do? Another one, if you get an email or a voicemail or some correspondence, do you respond to it or acknowledge it at least that same day? Now, I'm a little bit fussy this way. I can't have unbolded emails or little red icons on my Mac that shows emails I haven't opened or voicemails or texts I haven't responded to or viewed. I take the approach like this. If someone thinks enough of the issue to write or to call, to correspond with me on it, then frankly, as a trying to be quality individual, I owe them a duty of care to at least acknowledge I've received it. And say, hey, thanks for your email. I don't know. I'll find out. I'll get back to you. Making a promise, and then I'll keep it. Or, hey, I don't know, but the better person here is so-and-so, and I've copied them on this reply. Or, even better, here's your answer. Or, more lately, thanks, good point, good question. Let me add that to my list of crazy videos that I'll do for you going forward. People, relationships are built on communication. Can I add, transactions flow from relationships. Yes, we're in a business. Transactions are what we're after. But don't forget the continuum that gets us to those transactions, and more importantly, that same continuum that allows us to sustain those transactions. Do people want to be with you? Not just pretend to be, but really want to hang around with you. Now, that's a qualitative measure, kind of a hard thing, something to just keep an eye on. Don't be that guy or that girl that's always looking to have a posse or a group around them. That's not cool. That's not what we're talking about here. But do people seek you out? Are they looking for you? They'd like to hang around with you, just spend time with you. Are you that kind of person? Do you always leave something on the table at negotiations? Do you think win-win? All too often, particularly in business, it's, I've got to get all I can. Now, personifying that unicity sense. Just because someone could, because they have facility in their credit card, buy enough products to become manager, doesn't necessarily mean that's the best thing for them. I've actually, from time to time, talked people down from manager to a 250 pack or a half pack. Now, the irony is, they didn't start there, but their confidence was such, and me repositioning their thinking to a more prudent, more appropriate, more relationship-sustaining approach actually meant that almost all of them, I can only think of one, that ends the month as manager. Bottom line is for me is, the best thing for me is they become manager within that month. How they get there in the month is I'm indifferent to. So saying, look, let's just hold for a moment. Just why don't you start with the 250 pack? Let's go and I'll help you move that along. I'll help you take it so you get some experience, and then we can add more to that as we go along. Our goal is to make manager in the first month. I'm demonstrating my relationship sustaining approach as opposed to my transaction extracting approach. Irony is they actually get to where I want them to go, which is best for them and best for me, and frankly, a more sustainable approach over time, and they stay longer because they know I'm looking out for and with them rather than extracting from them what I want. Interesting twist, some may disagree with me, but I play the long game. I'm happy to load your credit card up today for as much as I can get, but it's not what really makes me happy. It's not what's best for you, and it isn't what the lifetime value to me and to you or that new person is grown out of. Do I leave something on the table? Do I think win-win? Do I think what's best for me and what's best for you? And ironically, in this business, what usually is best for the new person is also what's best for you long term. And do you live thankfully? I am convinced that an instinct of gratitude or thankfulness, not in some schwammy, ungenuine, thank you for this, thank you for that, that's kind of puts people off. But a genuine thank you. Hey, thanks for helping. Hey, thanks for being there. Hey, thanks for your order. Hey, thanks for the part you played in my business or the conversation or the meeting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is that your instinct? I'm not a good instinctual thanker. I need to get better at that. That's my work on for the next few months, to get better at being genuine and saying thank you. Those are some of my lower order, lower level, easily measured, more identifiable ways to be good. Summarily put, am I good with my 3 H's, my head, my hands, and my heart? Are my motives and my thoughts genuine? Am I trying to do the right thing? Am I thinking the right way? Is my heart good? Are my intentions good? Am I looking to achieve something with and for you genuinely? And am I good with my hands? Am I good at my skills, my craft? Am I refining that? That, to me, is what good's about, quantitatively, and qualitatively. Just look to be good. Make your own list. What's your work-ons that you can measure and make specific attribution to that make you or can help make you better, ultimately make you good? Have a good day.